This morning on Juice and Java, it's the first week of spring, but Syracuse still has some snow on the ground. We'll tell you when you can expect that warmer weather.
And Nicole DeMentri is Skyping in this morning all the way from across the pond. We'll talk to her about this week's London terror attack and how SU Abroad program is keeping students safe.
All that and more coming up. Good morning, I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Jackie Prager. Thanks for starting your morning with us.
Let's kick things off this week with the squeeze in this week's top stories. Syracuse experienced an atypical first week of spring. This week's snow was nothing compared to the 2 feet Syracuse experienced last week, but it still made for a cold entrance for spring. As the temperature starts to rise slightly in the coming days, we'll be seeing a lot of rain and melting snow. There could be potential flooding early next week as well, since central New York could be getting 2 inches of rain in the next couple of days. Hopefully, all of these March showers will be bringing us April and May flowers. And Jackie, I don't know about you, but I've been pretty thrilled with this winter overall. Even though it did snow a decent chunk, it seems like we haven't been on campus as students when those big snowstorms came.
It was really nice that we were able to have breaks correspond with us with these huge storms so we could get off campus. But you know, I'd almost prefer the snow over this rain that we're getting. And so I hope that the rain stops, we move on, we see the spring weather that we're really looking forward to and we know that Syracuse can have.
It's crazy that this was the first week of spring, yet it's cold.
Well, in other news this week, it was also the famous music composer Johann Bach's 332nd birthday. To celebrate, students from the Setner School of Music held a special concert. CitrusTV's Claudia Bellafato was there to join in on the celebration.
That was just one of the talents warming up for the Bach birthday concert that took place this past Tuesday. The event was held in Setner Auditorium to honor the birthday of the famous organ composer.
When I was younger age, I didn't know anything much about the classical music or music itself even, but I constantly heard this name, Bach.
To get to know Bach, the audience took part in Bach trivia and watched students and professors perform various ensembles. Thankfully, finding talent for the show was no problem, says organ professor Annie Laver.
I don't have to work too hard to motivate the students to want to perform. This is what we do. We're musicians and we love to share our music with everybody.
This is the first time the program has held the birthday celebration, and they say they hope to continue it in the years to come. Although today's performance will be the last big event of the year for the organ program, you can catch performances by students and professors who will be performing with the Hendricks Chapel Choir every Sunday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. I'm Claudia Bellafato, CitrusTV News.
Thank you so much, Claudia. But now we have to talk about some present-day musicians. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill announced that they plan on releasing a duet album later this year. The couple just released a new single this week titled "Speak to a Girl." The song describes having respect for women and teaching men how to speak to them properly. This is the first song that has been released from their upcoming album, and the pair plan to perform the song live for the first time at the Academy of Country Music Awards on April 2nd. The couple will also hit the road for a joint tour in April as well. Jackie, we had to listen to this song before the show, and
I was kind of let down. I'm a huge country music fan, and I'm a huge fan of both of them respectively, and I think it's great that they're collaborating, and I think this album is going to be incredible. But the song itself, it's a great message, but it's a little slow for me. I'm not so sure about it.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more, and like I said before, they are going to be performing the song live, and they're going on a tour, So hopefully, as they're singing this song live in person, it'll come across better. And the
I
tour
think it will.
is hitting major cities too. They're going to Seattle, they're going to Dallas, Washington, D.C. So many great cities that they're touring.
Well, speaking of Washington, on Capitol Hill, the future of Obamacare is being debated this week. The House vote on health care was scheduled to be voted on Thursday, but after Republican leaders failed to get enough supporters to pass the bill, President Trump pulled the bill from consideration. Many Republicans believe the bill does not go far enough to cancel out Obamacare. Republicans are pushing for a clean repeal, but President Trump has insisted on a repeal and replace. White House budget director says that Trump is ready to let Obamacare stay in place since the GOP health care bill failed. And so now I know that this has been a very tough situation, and everyone was anticipating the bill to see if it would pass or not, and I'm kind of surprised that there's been this much pushback and that Trump is really going up and facing his first, really pushback from Congress.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to see, and I know I was really shocked yesterday to see the news that President Trump actually pulled the bill, because I really expected him to try to go full force with it since he's been pushing so many people for it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the coming weeks.
And it's good for us at least that we can stay on our parents' health care plan until we're 26. So as long as that stays in place, I think I'm happy for right now.
Very happy with that. Well, another policy change that is taking flight. Many airline passengers will no longer be able to bring personal electronics on board. This week, the United States banned laptops, tablets, and other personal electronic devices on U.S.-bound flights from 8 different Muslim-majority countries. This rule requires passengers to place any electronic device larger than a smartphone in checked baggage. This rule is the result of concerns about terrorist groups smuggling in explosives and personal electronic devices on commercial flights. And the 8 countries covered by this ban include Jordan, Egypt, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Morocco, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Now, Jackie, we've seen a lot of bans already related to travel from Muslim-majority nations, and it's interesting that this new ban came to light and the United Kingdom also followed suit.
I think that, now we're seeing everyone pulling out all the stops on trying to find different ways to prevent different terrorist attacks from happening. And like you said, the UK has been following suit, so it'll be interesting to see if other countries do the same and really implement bans like this as well.
It's very interesting, especially because I feel like a cell phone is only like the size of our hand and tablets aren't that much bigger, so.
Right, well, speaking of iPhones, Apple has debuted a new red iPhone. The cherry red phones were created to support the RED initiative by the Global Fund. The Global Fund provides testing, counseling, and treatment to help prevent the transmission of HIV and AIDS. The portion of the profits that would go towards the Global Fund has not been disclosed. Apple has donated $130 million to the fund since the corporate partnership began in 2006. The red iPhones are currently available in stores and online. Now, I think that this is a great initiative that they're doing, and it's really going towards a good cause, and I think that their sales will really do good and raise a lot of money.
And it reminds me of back in the day, back in our the 2000s when we were growing up, and they would always debut the red iPod. I know I always want a red iPod, but favorite color is pink, so I had to get the pink ones. But it's such a great cause that they're doing.
And I think that it's really popular, and people are always looking for something new and trending. And I think that even if people don't necessarily do it for the cause, at least the money is going towards a good cause. And I think raising awareness for HIV and AIDS prevention is always a good thing to do. And they're such a great company to be doing it.
Exactly, and it's not just the iPhone. There are so many apps that are partnering with RED too, so it's really exciting to see. And coming up after the break, we're Skyping in with Nicole DeMentri, who is currently studying abroad in London. We'll find out the latest on this week's terrorist attacks and how SU students are doing in the city.
And we'll recap this week's breaking news from the SU basketball team. Chris Venzon is in studio to talk about Mike Hopkins and Tyler Lydon leaving Syracuse. We'll be right back.
To plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, Dad. We're getting so wet.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
British police have identified the man responsible for the attack in London that occurred this week. 52-year-old Khalid Massoud of central England was behind the tragic attack that is considered to be the deadliest assault on the capital in 12 years. There is said to be no prior intelligence about his intent to attack, but the Islamic State has claimed responsibility.
The attack included a car plowing over pedestrians on Westminster Bridge and continued with a stabbing of a policeman outside the Parliament building. Although the investigation is still taking place, the head of UK counterterrorism believes that the man acted alone and was inspired by international terrorism. Juice and Java international correspondent Nicole DeMentri is here with us via Skype. Nicole, what's the latest update from London?
So here in London right now, they have arrested 8 people, and they just released the newest death toll, which is 5, including the assailant. Now here, there are memorials, candlelight visuals, flowers everywhere throughout the city. The city is definitely reeling from this, but not only are there memorials, and we're taking time to remember the innocent lives lost, but we're also taking time to step up security measures. You are seeing police officers travel at least in pairs. If not, they're traveling in 3 or 4 people. So you see a stepped up police presence as this city is really reeling from this tragedy.
So how is the SU Abroad program helping students staying safe?
Throughout the hours following, they sent us text messages to make sure we were safe, sound, and accounted for. Now, since the attack happened on Wednesday, they sent out another additional email saying, hey, there's no additional information yet. We're still on high security here and high vigilance. Please be careful. Do not go near Westminster area, and be safe and aware of your surroundings always. And if we have any issues, please do contact the SU London Abroad program, which they've been amazing about making sure that we are safe here in London.
Well, Nicole, you guys are students abroad. Can you tell us about your abroad experience and how it's been affected?
You know, that's a tough question to answer. It depends on who you ask. Some people definitely think that, hey, it's something that happened, the city's reeling, but we're going to get through this and we're stronger than ever. Others I've spoken to are definitely scared. You know, you never really think that a terrorist attack is going to happen when you're abroad, or even if you're not abroad. You don't think it's going to happen to you, and when it happens so close, you really are taken aback. So I think regardless, all of us are really just double checking over our shoulders to make sure we're all safe and all right, whether we're here in London or traveling throughout Europe.
Well, thanks so much, Nicole. We're glad to hear that you're doing safe and doing well. And so now, Jamie, I mean, this is really a riveting thing that happened. You did study abroad in London yourself, and we were both abroad during the Paris attack, and it really is real, especially being there, like Nicole said, experiencing it and being that close to a terror attack. It's really quite scary and just really daunting.
And it is scary, and we spoke to Nicole previously this week, and she had said to us that people living in London, the citizens of London, honestly weren't even surprised. They were expecting an attack, and when I had been studying in London, they had even told us at the Syracuse Abroad program to be ready for an attack, because London is such a large city. It's one of the biggest in Europe, and we should just be ready for it. So it is pretty scary, but I'm happy to hear that everyone is doing well and everyone is safe, and they're finding ways to continue on day by day.
Hopefully more information will be brought out, and we'll just continue watching what happens.
We definitely will. When we come back, the creators of You Girl magazine are in studio. We'll talk to them about how their publication encourages university women.
And later, Juice and Java correspondent Noah Eagle is here to give us a reality check. Stay stay with us.
Those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
SU has many different campus publications, but YouGirl magazine tries to stand out from the rest. The magazine focuses on encouraging university women to reach their highest aspirations. Creator Katie Intner and Taylor Radford are here to tell us more about the purpose behind YouGirl Mag. Thanks so much for coming out today. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
So can you guys just first start off by telling me a little bit about the magazine and how you guys decided to create it?
So YouGirl's mission is to provide a relatable and inspirational platform for college girls who aspire to be confident, fearless, career-oriented, and trend-setting.
And we started the magazine because we saw a gap in the market and really wanted to create a lifestyle magazine that was by the college girl for the college girl.
So what are the types of articles and content in the magazine?
So we're going to have a style section, which will be based on college fashion and beauty rather than high runway stuff, so it's very relatable. We'll also have a feel-good section, which is all about health, mental health, physical health, as well as fitness, which will be generally relating to the SU girl, but also specifically to Syracuse. For example, we have a writer working on a story about the SU Girls Guide to the Archbold Gym, so it's very relatable. We also have a college life section, which will be anything and everything about being a college student here, but also as well as just being a college girl in general. Our main section is the Girl Talk section, which will feature girls on campus who are doing really successful, awesome things. That's pretty much known as our empowerment section. So it will recognize girls on campus who deserve it and will in turn inspire others to go after their dreams.
About how many people, this is so much content, how many people are contributing to this and writing this content?
So right now we have a team of about 30 people, but that's just for the web, and we're hoping to grow our staff for next semester when it finally comes to print.
So when are you guys launching?
So we are launching the week of April 3rd. That would be our online, and next semester will be our first print.
Cool, and so what's the feedback and response that you've gotten to the content that you've written so far and shown?
So far, our only kind of tangible existence is on Instagram, and we've already had a great following, and we've actually had people DM us to get involved.
Oh, wow, that's great. So do you see this spreading beyond SU and going to other college campuses?
Yeah, absolutely. Our original idea was to have a university girl and a university guy, but considering we're girls, we wanted to start with university girl. But we're definitely hoping to spread it to other universities and have other chapters.
Great. So how can we follow you and keep up with what you're doing in the release dates?
So our Instagram is universitygirlsu, and our website will be universitygirl.org.
Great. Well, thanks so much. We're really looking forward to it being released.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. And even though Syracuse isn't in the NCAA tournament, it's been an eventful week for SU basketball.
That's absolutely right, Jamie. And when we come back, I'll recap that crazy week in sports, and we'll take a look at the future of SU basketball.
Don't change that channel.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
It's been a wild week for Syracuse basketball with the news of assistant coach Mike Hopkins and star player Tyler Lydon leaving Central New York.
And the future of Orange basketball has drastically changed. So this morning, Chris Benson is here with us to discuss the fate of the team. Thanks so much, Chris, for coming on.
I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
So let's start off with how Hopkins' move to Washington is going to affect the team next season.
Well, Mike Hopkins is known for one thing, or two things really. He's very good at recruiting, and he's very good at developing players, specifically guards. You know, one of the things that he had a big hand in was developing guys like Michael Carter-Williams and Dion Waiters and his name's blanking on me. He's been a great job at developing guards over the time, and he's really going to be missed in that sense. But what I think that he's going to miss the most is that he's really been able to develop a deep trust with the players that he's played for and coached for. They've voiced repeatedly that they love playing and they love being coached by Coach Hopkins. So that's going to be a thing that's going to be missed dearly because it's a bond that is not quickly developed between players and coaches.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about Tyler Lydon. How do you think he's going to do in the NBA draft?
Well, let me say this first of all. That he's a great player. He's going to be very serviceable on an NBA roster next season. He's a big man that can shoot threes and play defense. But because he didn't live up to last season's expectations, he's going to fall in this draft. He was named to the Wooden Award watch list, which highlights players who are expected to play well in the upcoming college season. But he only averaged 13 points and 7 rebounds, which is good, but not great for his standards. If he had stayed, and if he stays and played another year, and he could really improve his draft stock going into the next draft, but because he's not, he's likely going to fall out of that lottery pick, the first 14 picks, and that's where he could probably lose a lot of money.
So with Lydon gone and now Hopkins leaving, what's next season really going to look like?
It's going to look drastically different from this season. John Gillen, Andrew White, Tyler Roberson all graduating, Lydon going to the NBA. This team and the responsibility is going to fall to guys like Tyus Battle. Tyus Battle, one of the better players, very talented. He can score. He has great athletic ability. He's very strong. He's going to be expected to shoulder the load. Additionally, Torian Thompson's going to be another guy that's a freshman this year that's going to have to step up in his sophomore season. He's a really exciting player to watch. He's very good at scoring, developed inside and outside. But this team is going to be very, very young. They're losing a lot of veterans from this team, and it takes a while for young guys to learn Jim Boeheim's zone defense. So if they struggle early and they lose a couple of games early, Syracuse could lose out and miss out on the tournament again, which is it's disappointing if you're a Syracuse basketball fan because it doesn't happen often in Jim Boeheim's tenure.
I know. I hope we can pull it together and have another run at the Final Four.
Seriously, well, really quick, who do you think is going to be playing in the Final Four next weekend?
Well, I have Florida, Xavier, Kansas, and UNC Chapel Hill. Florida is a great team. Not a lot of people expected them to make it this far.
Well, thanks so much for coming on with us.
We'll have to keep an eye on it. Thank you. Coming up, former Bachelor correspondent Noah Eagle is in studio with a brand new segment.
Find out what Noah has for us after the break.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Who doesn't love good reality TV? From Survivor to Dancing with the Stars, reality TV continues to boost station ratings and draw viewers from across the country.
There are hundreds of reality shows currently on TV, and in our new Juice and Java segment, Noah Eagle is breaking down some of these shows and giving us a major reality check.
You know me as the Bachelor guy, but ever since that final rose, my life, as I'm sure all of yours have too, has lacked purpose. So I'm here to give you a reality check and find those other reality shows that you should or should not watch. This week we feature one from the Food Network, Worst Cooks in America. What's great about this show is we can all relate to it. It's a collection of those people that only know how to make a select few things, the cereal and toast makers, the type of people that burn water, some real impastas in the kitchen. You see what I did there? Anyway, so the group of random people, all ages, races, genders, come ready for a boot camp. In charge of them are Rachel Ray and Ann Burrell. It's a real good cop, bad cop situation. Naturally, Ray is the good cop, Burrell the latter. I watched the first episode of the most recent season titled A Decade of Dishasters, and the contestants get thrown right into the fire with what is called the baseline challenge. Basically, they're told to make their signature dish. For this group, that included things like the tuna surprise, Philly cheesecake cups, and chef's specials, which was indeed very special. The best part about this segment, some of the things these people actually said. The highlights included, "Oh my God, there's a piece of tinfoil in here. It smells like old dirty socks, and my water isn't even boiling, yo." Eventually, the judges tried the dishes and divvied up into teams. Rachel's team making shrimp with salad and Ann's lobster with salad. It was a rush to the timed finish line, and when it was all over, the contestants were hugging and high-fiving one another, but may have wanted to think again. When Rachel and Ann tried the dishes, some were okay, but most were train wrecks. The type of food was so bad that I bet the judges prayed after eating it. The seafood was so undercooked, it looked like they were still looking for Nemo. At the end, one contestant was sent home from each team, and after watching one episode of this show, I would highly recommend it. The producers do a great job of creating suspense and keeping it lighthearted at the same time. Overall, 7.8 out of 10. Very solid job by the Food Network, and something I look forward to keeping up with in future seasons. That is, if the judges don't die from food poisoning.
Well, thank you so much, Noah. And that's all we have for Juice and Java this morning.
Check us out online at CitrusTV.com and follow Citrus TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Jackie Prager. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great weekend, Syracuse.